Welcome to Truck and Chubby Sports, where we back in our yapping. We ain't never capping, not subtracting. So what's happening? This ain't the coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the fans' point of view and what you know. This ain't the coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the fans' point of view and what I know. This ain't the coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the fans' point of view and what we know. This ain't the coaches and pros, the X's and O's. This is the fans' point of view and what we know. So let's go. Yo, with it. Yeah. What's going on with it, everybody up out there, man? Hope everybody's having a wonderful Valentine's Day and all that good stuff. You know what I mean? Mine ain't no real shit. So, let's get up into it, though. Let's go. Know what time it is, man. Yeah. So the first quarterback we got up here, these are some of the quarterbacks that some might forgot about or that you just don't know. So we about to get up and we about to get going. First up, y'all, this is Curtis Ryuk. Y'all like, who is this, y'all? Yeah, this is that guy right here, man. Hey, look, 23 years old. You know, he coming back up in. He played in the MAC championship game versus the Quan Finn and the Toledo Rockets. They went head to head and they had a great game. And look, he's 6'5", 231 pounds, Oakville, Ontario, Canadian kid and all that. You know what I mean? So let's get up into the stats for the people that like the stats. You hear me? So he was 195 of his 307 passes for 64%, threw for 2,207 yards, 11 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, had a passer rating of 133 and a QBR of 60. You know I like the PFF up out here. You feel me? So the overall offensive grade, they gave him a 78.9, passing 75.1, and a run of 72.6. Yo, I'm telling you, man, nasty with it. Dude is good. Not only that, like, I mean, when you get to thinking and really looking at it, like, what makes him good going up to Indiana? Because that's where he transferred to. He transferred over to Indiana. Well, first off, you know what I mean? He wants to play against some bigger competition. I think he can get the job done without a doubt. But I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and pull up some of these stats and let me give y'all some more information about what's really going on. So not only did he lower a 4-star receiver over to Indiana from James Madison University, Elijah Surratt. He's 90 overall, 4-star receiver. He had 82 receptions for 1,191 yards, 8 touchdowns. He ran a touchdown in 6'2", 207. He got that receiver to go over to Indiana. The kid must be doing something. Also, Miles Cross, he brought his one of his receivers over from Ohio, and Miles Cross, he's another receiver, 6'1", 213. It was one of his go-to targets, 47 receptions, 617 yards. He had 5 touchdowns. He's ranked at 88 overall, although he did spread the ball around pretty good up there at Ohio. So let's give him that. And I'm not done. He got Keyshawn Williams from Wake Forest. Now, he didn't get very much playing time, but he had 38 receptions for 384 yards. He's 5'10", 190 pounds. They got him to try to take the top off the D. Also, he got Miles Price from Texas Tech, He had 43 receptions, 410 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's ranked at 87. Now, look, if this guy that I'm naming Curtis Ryu, y'all, once again, 6'5", 231 pounds, he is luring guys from other teams and saying, look, I ain't get the playing time. And you want to, as a receiver, you want to go to a quarterback that can pass. He can get it done. He's one of these quarterbacks that's out here right now where I mentioned, and people say, well, who is this guy? Who is he? It don't make sense to me. Well, now you know, and I'm telling y'all, this is one of them quarterbacks that will ruin your season. Be on the lookout for Curtis Ryu, y'all, over there in the Big Ten with Indiana. All right, well, keep it moving. Keep it moving on to the next guy. Who we got here? Daquan Finn. Now, I mentioned him before, and some people said, nah, he's just trash. And I wanted to ask people about him just to see if people really been paying attention to what he can do and everything else. And it was like, well, he's trash. And I'm like, no, he's not. No, he's not. And if he's coming back because of this extra COVID year that everybody else taking advantage of, he might as well do it too. Now, listen, bad man right here. Deshaun Finn, y'all, 6'2", 225 pounds, 220 pounds, somewhere in there. His stats, he completed 201 of his 317 passes for 63%. He threw for 2,657 yards, 22 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, took 9 sacks. PFF gave him an overall offensive grade of 79.2, passing grade 77.2, and a run grade of 67.5. Listen to what I'm saying. 6'2", 205 pounds. Excuse me, not 225, 205 pounds he is. Excuse me. But he's from Detroit, Michigan. And why am I naming him? Well, because you got to look at the guys that also Baylor has brought in for him. Now, Baylor was horrible. We get that. We get that. You know what I mean? They had some size at receiver. They lost some guys in the portal. These is just one of them teams that you do not want to sleep on because of the fact they have a quarterback that can get the job done. Now, you think of your favorite quarterback right now, and his run grade is damn near better or is. And it's only going to get better. Like he can run. He's one of these quarterbacks that can scoot, but does not scoot. You know what I mean? And his stats is only going to get better. His stats is only going to get better. Look, I think a lot of his inconsistencies at quarterback had to do with the level of receiver he had. Now we'll see what he do with Jamal Bell coming over to Baylor from Nevada. You know what I mean? He's 5'10", 171 pounds. He's a flyer. He touched the ball 32 times, had 262 yards. He only had like 1 touchdown. They went and got him a big blocking receiver. You know what I'm saying? But don't sleep on him neither from Ole Miss because he'll probably catch one too. He did get a touchdown last year. And Michael Trigg, he's at 89 overall, according to 24/7 Sports. Jamal Bell's at 85, according to 24/7 Sports. And Ashton Hawkins, they got him from Texas State. Now, Ashton Hawkins, 5'10", 170 pounds, 55 receptions, 874 yards, and 3 touchdowns. If he can keep his composure, and Ashton Hawkins, I'm telling you, he can do damage. He's a flyer. He's one of these skilled position guys to where I'm not too much worried about him moving up in division or field of play, so to speak, because he's a skilled position. You know what I'm saying? If you can fly and you can catch, you can do that at any level. You know what I'm saying? And he's a good guy. He got speed. Let's just keep it real. From DeSoto, Texas, Ashton Hawkins is. He's a guy that I really want to pay attention to down in Baylor because he can fly. And I want to see what he does with that speed up at Baylor. You know what I mean? I just hope he keeps his composure and everything, and he works his way up on a depth chart because it's going to be hard to start at Baylor. It's a different game speed. The plays are going to be more complicated. But look, They gave him some guys to blow the top off that defense. They gave him a blocking tight end. And look, I'm telling you, man, do not sleep on Daquan Finn. He got a cannon. He can scoot. He's tough. And if you're not on your A game when you go to play Baylor this year, they will ruin your season. That's a fact. Next, guys. Preston Stone. Round of applause, man. And you get a truck from me. Listen to me. Preston Stone. With all the respect that everybody that's out there, and look, I have no doubt and no question. He's moving to the ACC this year, right? And but Preston Stone really might be the one of the top 5 quarterbacks that will be playing in college football this year. He will be competing for the best quarterback in college football this year. SMU moving over into the ACC just made the ACC that much better. And on top of it, he's really going to be judged against all the other Power 5 schools. And don't count him out for the Heisman, because they're taking their offense and what they run over into the ACC. SMU is. We know they let it fly. Preston Stone is great. Let me get into he stands at 6'1". He's coming back for his junior year, first of all. So he got another year. He don't have to come out next year. He has another one. And already I'm talking about him being a top 5. All right. 6'1" from Dallas, Texas, 219 pounds. Okay. He completed 206 of his 344 passes for 60%. He threw for 3,197 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, had a passer rating of 161, a quarterback rating of a 72. Listen, man, oh my goodness. This kid, look, he's amazing, yo. I'm telling you, he's good. Overall, PFF gave him an overall offensive grade at 91.3, passing at a 91, and a run at a 64.3. He can scoot. He can get it done. I'm sorry, he can get it done. He can get it done, and whatever you're going to give him, he's going to take. He is overlooked right now in college football. The ACC is going to be introduced to him this year, and when you go to play SMU, you better be on your A game. You better be up for the task, because if not, they will ruin your season, your day, and maybe even your year. Because look, they coming out firing. They not playing. And look, he went and got Brashard Smith transferred to SMU from Miami Hurricanes. All right. He only had 22 catches for 263 yards, 2 touchdowns. But this is where Brashard Smith is like a Debo Samuels, right? Because he had 9 carries for 132 yards and 1 touchdown. That is an all-around receiver right there, and he is going to be a fantastic target for Preston Stone. Not only that, but they went and grabbed the freshman sensation who was supposed to be up there at Oregon. He transferred over to SMU, and who did they go grab? Ashton Corzett. I can't pronounce. I'm bad with last names. Corzett. That's who they got from Flower Mound, Texas. 6'3", 195 pounds. Got hands. He was supposed to come out and be really good. Things just didn't work out up at Oregon. He didn't make the field. He didn't get no playing time up there. So he's like, look, I'm going to go somewhere. SMU's probably going to put him on the field. He has experience. He was around a great quarterback. Let's just be honest, a great college quarterback in Bo Nix. And he was also around some decent receivers up there at Oregon. You might even say good. Some might say great. All right. And he's seen it done. He had a year to process everything, and now Ashton is over there, and he's another target for Preston Stone. Preston Stone is a huge name. Some might be forgetting about him, but I'm telling you, with a grade like that from PFF and his stats alone, and you looking at him on the field test, you gotta say that. You can argue that. I wouldn't be mad if somebody argued and made a great argument that Preston Stone was the best quarterback. I mean, everybody has their favorites. We all speculating, but look, when it comes to him and what you've seen him do, if he can repeat what he done last year, and granted, it's going to be against a higher level of competition, better competition, and that's exactly what he needs. And there's no doubt that I still think that he can get it done. As long as he understands it's going to be different over there in the ACC, hey, he going to have a great year. Moving on, man. Moving on. Yes, Jaylen Maiden. Why is he up here? Well, first of all, I didn't see him on the draft board. San Diego State. Gotta show some love to Sean Lewis's offense, man. And Sean Lewis, that head coach, he did a great job, man. Sean Lewis is still, and I just really, learned about him the year before he went to Colorado. As soon as he made that change is when I started doing my research on him, and I started following Sean Lewis and understanding how his offense ran and everything else. As we just learned that his offense is not easy. Okay. It's just not. And you have to be dedicated to this offense. And if you're dedicated to this offense, without a doubt, you're giving it your all. This offense becomes your baby and you really are in the game of football. I believe no doubt this offense will thrive. And once it gets into the Power 5 level, such as it is now, if San Diego State can get the concept of Sean Lewis's offense, oh my goodness. If they literally take themselves, because look, I ain't dissing. We heard what Shador said about the offense. It was a lot of option routes, right? And that's just not his style. And there's nothing wrong with that. That isn't his style. However, when you take and you dedicate yourself, the receivers and the quarterback, to learning this offense and making it work, when a quarterback sees cover 2 or cover 3, whatever, they got a spy QB, they're in cover 2. Sometimes the slot receiver, it can run a certain route to clear things out. Now, I'm just speculating here, just like everybody else does out here. And I know I'm talking about Jay Maynard. I'm going to get on to that real quick. Some receivers you have to be unselfish when you're running option routes. You may not be open, but you may need to run a certain route to open up another route for another fellow receiver. And I believe strongly that's what a Sean Lewis offense is set up to be. I promise you guys that at some point this weekend in the Saturday show, I will break down how and what I am talking about. You have to run a certain route to open up the field for other receivers. And just speculating, that's what Kavasi Smoke meant by it was too much me ball going on and it wasn't team ball. That's what I believe he meant. Certain guys had to run certain routes, you know what I mean? And that's just what it is. There's a safety sitting here. There's another receiver. You got to run a post, run a flag or a post, you know what I'm saying? To get that safety to move, to open up the middle of the field for a tight end or another receiver to get the ball or to move him so Jimmy Horn could fly and catch it deep or whoever. However, that just wasn't going on anymore. Everybody was trying to get open instead of looking at the defense and saying, he's the guy, or whatever. That's just, you know what I mean? That's just me speculating, but I will write it down and I'll show y'all. But Jaylen Maiden, right? 5th year senior, y'all. He's not on anybody's board. 6'3", 220 pounds from Garland, Texas. He's experienced, number one. He knows what he's doing out there. He completed 199 of his 314 passes for 63%. He got 2,031 yards, 10 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, had a passer rating of 122, a quarterback rating of 44. He took 23 sacks. PFF gave him an overall offensive grade of 64.2, passing grade 57.1, but they gave him a run grade of 71.2. Now, he was under some pressure, seeing some ghosts. Um, but the reason he's up here is because these are quarterbacks that some guys forgot about, and I don't want you to forget about, because now he has a great head coach who knows how to move the ball and how to put up points. And that's exactly what they needed up there. And I believe that you'll see a changed product in him, no matter if he's on somebody's top board or not. But I can guarantee you his stats will be better next year. And that's why I got him up here. And I wanted to show him some love. So let's do that. All right. Next quarterback. Yes, yes, yes. Now, I got to show some love to the group of 5 guys and all that too, man. I can't leave these guys out, man. They have worked extremely hard to get where they're at. In a lot of cases, man. And I and you just can't forget about that, man. You just can't. And let me get up into this real quick, okay? Joey Aguilar from California, senior now, going into his senior year, 6'3", 220 pounds. He completed 293 of his 460 passes for 64%. He had 3,757 yards, 33 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, had a pass rating of 152, and a quarterback rating of a 73. You hear me what I'm saying? You hear me? Overall offensive grade at 76.8, passing grade is 76.1, and a run at a 61. It's another one of those guys, man. Hey, look, it's another one of those guys that scoop when he can. You know what I'm saying, and really tries to get the offense going here. There's no doubt in my mind that they went and grabbed up some freshmen that were undesirable to other teams. Like, for instance, going into a sophomore year, William Fowles from Louisville, 6'3", 205. Xavier Short, another receiver going into a sophomore year from South Carolina, 6'2", 212. They went and grabbed them guys up to add to that receiver room. Big guys, got hands. And it's this is just one of those cases where it's like they don't start, they're moving on it because they want the playing time, and I do believe playing time helps them, especially at the college level, and they want to move and they want to develop. Will they get on the field and get to play with a guy like this? I believe William Fowles should, and Xavier Short. He's more like a possession type of guy to me, but he don't sleep on his speed. Don't sleep on his speed. You know what I mean? He can't get the job done. You know what I mean? Um, that's just like San Diego State too. On back on San Diego State a little bit. You know what I mean? Showing love to App State. You know what I'm saying? And Joey, but San Diego State back on them a little bit. They brought in Jerry McClure. I hope I pronounced that right. From UCLA. The receivers 6'2", 200 pounds. They got Lewis Brown IV from Colorado State University, 6'1", 190 pounds. We seen him get busy a little bit. He had 47 receptions, probably 481 yards and 5 touchdowns. Michael Harrison from Colorado University, tight end, 6'3", 215. We seen him, and we see him become clutch for Shador, especially at the tight end spot receiving. So we know what he can probably do in the Sean Lewis offense. Joshon Pope, receiver from West Virginia University, 5'10", 186 pounds. One of those quick guys that can blow the top off, and he's older. And they got Jude Wolf from USC. Now, in tight end, 6'5", 240 pounds, that really didn't see the field, but he's up at San Diego State. So you get the drift of what's going on here. Sean Lewis likes big receivers that's going to get in there, poke their nose in, block, screen somebody or something like that. But you'll see how that offense is ran. And I'm pretty sure that it might work out. You know what I'm saying? I'm almost positive that's going to work out up there. And we'll see better stats. But these are some of the guys that I do not want y'all to forget about. I want y'all to pay a little bit close attention to these guys that I just named. And I'll go back to the list real quick for y'all. First guy was Curtis Ryuk up at Indiana. Let's give him some. Second guy was DeQuan Finn over at Baylor. Give him some. Third guy, Preston Stone. Absolute beast, bro. Absolute beast. I'm telling y'all, watch. I'm going to see Jaylen Maiden up at San Diego State. Last but not least, again, Joey Aguilar, man. App State. These are some of the guys I don't want y'all to forget about. Stay tuned in, man. I already know how I give it up out here, man. I appreciate all y'all views and everybody out there supporting me before we get on up out of here.
Want to see Truck and Chubby live and co-host Shannon? Tune in at Fans Point of View, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific Time. But in the meantime, in between time, enjoy the content. Don't forget to hit your notification bell for all updates. Thank you for watching.